Hey everybody, welcome here. Another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. We've got a special guest with us, Frolek of Stelex Solutions. She's all things bookkeeping and finances. So we're going to learn a ton of great information about keeping your finances in order and how to save time and save money in your business. Welcome here, Alex. How are you doing today?
Really well. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is such an important topic and one that most contractors don't want to take the time to learn or figure out. And that's where you come in. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you help contractors with on the financial side of things?
Yeah, sure. So I'll start off first of all with the origin of the name Steelix. So that is mine and my husband's couple name. So even Alex put it together, Steelix. So a little bit about me. I was born in England, and when I was about 8 years old, me and my immediate family emigrated to Canada from England. So when I was 8 years old, really, really young. And then Stephen was born actually in Vancouver, BC in Canada, and he was raised in Delta. That's a city just outside of Vancouver. And so that's kind of like us on a bit of a personal level. And so we kind of joined forces with Stelex Solutions. It really is truly is a marriage of the skill sets and background that we can help serve our clients in a really, really cool way. So we help contractors get current and streamline their finances. So we're really passionate about trying to find every opportunity to save money for our clients. A big win for us recently is for one of our larger clients. We saved them close to $24,000 in GST. In sales tax. So you're always aiming to achieve more client wins, more success stories like that. Yeah. So we help clients get set up correctly on either QuickBooks Online or Xero. Those are two major players in the cloud accounting software space. There are others, but out there, but we firmly believe in those two. And those are two that make the most noise in the market. And those two we feel the most confident in. And we've truly partnered with both. Maybe down the road, maybe in the future, we will just pick one, but we do like both QuickBooks Online, QBO, and Xero. We like to make sure as well, take every opportunity to kind of systematize and make sure those systems are optimized and also maintained well. So some of our clients have quite a high volume. So we find that weekly bookkeeping is necessary for them. Even twice a week, we're in their file during peak periods. So summertime sometimes. So for some of our smaller contractors, when they found us, when they've approached us, sometimes when you're smaller, it's easy to fall behind, even just by more than a quarter or so, or 6, 8, 9, it can really add up. What was 4 months behind is now 10 months behind. So, they could have come to us, behind, and they even might be struggling with invoicing on a timely basis. And so sometimes they need assistance with that. Or even just with like certain aspects of the software where there might be a training opportunity where we can really provide some value there. But so Stephen brings over 11 years hands-on experience in construction as a finished carpenter. So he's been doing that since 2012. He has a lot of experience as a foreman. So he very much understands the day-to-day struggles that can come up on site. And I have 10 years experience as a bookkeeper. So in 2013, my first set of books officially was construction. So since then, I've been worked with a variety of other industries, but I think construction is definitely where our heart is fully, and we can serve people really well with the unique backgrounds that we have, and pairing them up just makes sense.
Definitely. You and Stephen have a great dynamic, and both bring your experiences and talents to the table, and really make your company great. And just for everybody watching, if you want more information about Stelex Solutions, you can check out the link in the description below to the website, and can find out more there. So I was talking with a colleague of mine yesterday, a good friend of mine, and he's a contractor. He does roofing. He was telling me about his financial management and just how much he hates like collecting receipts and tracking expenses and all that kind of stuff. And he was actually looking at hiring someone just to like give them all the receipts and let them take care of it, kind of thing. So, but I know you have some interesting systems and methods methods that you use. So what's the easiest way that you've found to help contractors, get a hold and make sure that all the receipts are, going through a process and that they can access them later?
Yeah, I love this question. I'm so glad you asked it because paperwork sucks. And I found that even just in psychology, it's always hard when it's your own stuff. Something very interesting about that. So regarding the paper, I mean, receipts fade generally. So we're big fans of an app called Dext, Dext. It's like Dexter, the show Dexter, just dropped the ER. So Dext. Previously called Receipt Bank. They did rebrand a few years ago, but we use that for expense management. So most people have a smartphone nowadays. So you just take a photo of your bill of receipt, and Dext will extract all of the necessary information. So date, amount, supplier name, everything. It'll take all that information out automatically. 9 times out of 10, it gets it right. It's pretty sophisticated. This information gets pushed or submitted to your cloud accounting software. So it could be either QBO or Xero. And another way of submitting information to Dext is the email in feature. So a lot of suppliers have gone more paperless since the pandemic, especially. So naturally, your viewers are probably getting a lot more traffic in their email. So things like bills, supplier statements, all coming into their email, which can be quite excessive and hard to maintain. So you can actually push that information to Dext very easily as well. And you can really automate that. And that's something that we preach to our clients. If there's an opportunity to automate something like that, get the software to work for you, get these tools to do the harder work for you. You don't have to sit there and manually push things. So yeah, a lot of our clients are using Dext for managing their employee expense reports too. So so that's a huge feature as well. But I mean, paper sucks. So you've got these like sexy, sophisticated apps out there. So it is supposed to feel like a weight is lifting with these tools. And one thing I wanted to also mention about a tool like Dext, if you were ever audited by the CRA, or for people listening in the States, the IRS, an auditor has no interest, and they will not want to touch a tool like that. They'll basically ask you, can you just please give me the, for whatever reason you may be audited for, give me the biggest 10 expenses in this category. I need to see all those bills, all those invoices. So Dext, when I say that things are getting pushed or submitted to QBO or Xero, you still have that information in that Dext inbox. It's still there. It's just pushing a copy and attaching it to the transaction in QBO or Xero. So it's nice because it's very export friendly in Dext as well. So they know that if you were looking at something internally, like an internal audit, you or someone else on your team, or if you had an external auditor come in. So yeah, that is something that is worth mentioning, and it's good to keep in mind.
No, it sounds like a big time saver. With technology these days, like there's no reason to be doing things manually, and it just keeps getting better, right? Also, another thing is you can use this with your team, right? It's not just yourself purchasing thing. If you've got foremen or managers or whoever picking up supplies, or other people like the office admin grabbing, office supplies, that you can give them access to the app as well, right? And then all of their expenses can be tagged to jobs, or pushed through to the accounting, and you can track and keep tabs on kind of everything that happens. And leaves a good record there. So awesome tips. As far as so you look at, a lot of contractors' books, and the finances and where money goes, and where things come in. So what are some things that you've seen that have helped with contractors minimizing inefficiencies or costs in their business?
That's a really, really important question, especially nowadays, because costs are rising, and it's a hot topic right now. So I think first of all, just a big one is just realizing that you may need to consult with an expert. A lot of the time, business owners think they can do it all, and this can really hinder their operation. And so we are totally guilty of this too, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and say that we're not trying to do everything, but that's not a sustainable state to remain in. You have to realize that you are doing too much, and maybe it's time now to free up your time and consult with an expert. So we don't know what we don't know, right? So
It's kind of
often,
like the handyman and the professional, right? Like the handyman kind of do everything, but professional will just, do it properly and that much
yes,
faster. Sorry to
yeah.
cut in there, but
No, that's fine. That's an excellent point. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we do need to remind ourselves what our zone of genius is and just delegate for the rest. So, a big thing for minimizing cost is going back to the foundations. So, making sure your foundation, your reporting is optimized, you're using the right software and tools, you're staying current, not just on the numbers side, but also with the tech. Because often what I've found is people will come to us and they will say, I tried this software, I tried this, I tried that, it didn't work for me. And sometimes it can be just an innocent oversight of, if you just upgrade, they did actually add that feature, you just need to upgrade now. I mean, that, it's just decisions like that. It's a missed opportunity. It's staying current. So I would say, as a business owner in the construction industry, I would say to them, it's really important also to be invoicing regularly. Very important for cash flow. It is easy to fall behind or realize that, I should have added that to the invoice. Whoops. Or, those conversations can get really awkward really fast. And start to recognize all expenses as they occur, not as they are paid. So for better forecasting down the road. So I know for us, like at Steelix, like we're starting to work with our clients now more on an intimate, personalized level, even more so. So we're going to be kind of launching now more of an advisory light, like advisory LITE, advisory light program, where we're going to start diving into some of the more problematic areas of their finances. So where they can essentially trim the fat of some of their expenses, but also see and recognize where most of their revenue is coming from, like where, which customers are the best customers, how often are they purchasing, how profitable is this job site right now as compared to this one. So I think it's very much, the reporting always tells a story, and it's from that 30,000 foot view, you can really see which expenses or costs are necessary and where there's some redundancies that can be reduced, minimized, or just flat out removed, because you're not at that stage yet. So some expenses just don't make sense, in your chapter 1 stage versus your chapter 7. Like, how far along are you in the business journey? And it's such a personal journey. So there is a gap in the market right now, I think, where, being able to understand what those reports are saying.
Definitely. Yeah. It's one thing to have the information in the first place, but know how to use it and what to do with it is definitely important. And like you said, like I'm as guilty as anyone, for having done this before, where you're often sort of, when business is good, you're living a little bit high, and then business, takes it and have a little dip, or you don't realize that you've been spending too much. It can catch up with you. So that forecasting is really important, and having some buffer in there to kind of weather the storms or the ups and downs of business is so important. What difficulties do you see business owners running into when they're managing their finances? This could be like their banking or their bookkeeping. It's just, I think financial management is something most people have not studied or know much about. What sort of things do you see are common for business owners?
I think a big one is bank balance accounting. So, it's in the name, really. That's when business owners base the majority, if not all, of their business decisions just on how much money they have in the bank. I can pretty much guarantee that will leave you financially stressed and just strapped for cash no matter what, because just a big way to avoid this entirely, or if you have fallen into this trap, try and work towards having a monthly financial reporting recurrence as well as a cash flow forecast. Now, if you're behind, do it in baby steps. Like maybe you're behind by more than 12 months right now. And so the idea of having monthly reporting, it's just an idea. It's like how tangible is that? How can I get there? When you're seeing that mountain, how do I get from here to over Everest? So work up to that, because when people have come to us behind, we break this down, and sometimes, even just quarterly, moving to quarterly reporting, and then ideally monthly is where you want to be. But also arming yourself with a cash flow forecast. So Stephen and I firmly believe this is something we're talking about a lot right now, behind the scenes with a few of our clients. This is something I feel like the market really needs right now in general, even in other industries as well, but particularly construction because of the nature of the boom and bust. I think as well, another difficulty that business owners often face is not reserving enough money each month, each quarter for tax, for saving for that. We are big fans of Mike Michalowicz's Profit First. I actually think Stephen is his biggest fan. And he really is revolutionary. And I agree, a lot of people talk about the profit and loss and seeing that profit there. But by the end of the year, it's almost like an afterthought. Well, why, I made all this profit, where is it?
Yeah.
So it's almost like if you don't take those proactive steps regularly enough, find yourself kind of scrambling and wondering, well, I swear I did make a profit, but the bank balance says different. And now I don't have any money to pay the CRA, to pay the IRS. What am I going to do? So Mike Michalowicz is an excellent resource and for that.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of Profit First, as you know, and it's just a great way to set up your banking and your finances in your company. Even if your reporting or your bookkeeping is not, quite where it should be, at least you'll have that basic system set up where there's money being allocated. And if things aren't working out properly, at least you know that something is off and you should be diving into it instead of just, having, one bank account and one credit card or a few different bank accounts where, money just kind of circulates and goes in and out. And then, you get to the end of the year and you look at your reports, it's like, oh, I made money, but you don't have any to show for it. And, where did it go? It's all too common. And I've been there before. It's not great. So super important to get some management of your finances and be setting money aside for, all these different things, different, parts of your business and stuff like that. So we talked about reports, a number of times here and gathering that information. What are some, of the specific reports and numbers that contractors should, be looking at and keeping a pulse of to make sure they're healthy financially?
Yeah, I think definitely the profit and loss is always a good one. I mean, it does tell you, it kind of breaks down. It's quite easy to understand naturally. This is how much revenue in the month or quarter or year over year, month over month. We're big fans of comparative reporting as well, and just seeing percentage wise, even numerically, how you're just even comparing yourself to yourself 12 months ago. How was your business 12 months ago as compared to right now? But the P&L, the profit and loss, it does always seem to get talked about, certainly is important, but I think the balance sheet is even more vital, and that's always going to tell the whole story. So in really general terms, the balance sheet is going to tell you essentially if you own the company or the company owns you. So it breaks down all of your assets, liabilities, equity. Frankly, when you're thinking about, let's say, your exit strategy. So if you're thinking about selling your company or buying your company, the balance sheet is going to be a big part of that decision. And so, you may be making a nice profit when you look at your profit and loss report, but are your customers paying your invoices on time? Are you paying down your credit card, or is that getting out of hand? A lot of business owners make business decisions based on gut instincts and pretty much what their bank balance says. But what we want to, Stephen and I, Steelix, we want to change that, because these reports really tell a story. And so we're here to help you translate those numbers in order to help you make more informed, more confident decisions in your business. So these reports really aren't supposed to spark confusion or more guesswork. They're supposed to arm you, like knowledge is power. And so those reports really can arm you well when things do get tight. And you can, we want to make sure that our clients are more informed and more confident, because what I have been finding is, people say that, often we can get your bookkeeping done and we can get you those reports, but those reports are useful certainly to make decisions decisions, but you can end up with some bookkeeping can be a little off. And usually it's right or it's really wrong. And so sadly, if it's the latter, you can find yourself kind of making Mickey Mouse decisions, but they're not good. So yeah, you want to check the integrity of your file and have a diagnosis, really.
Definitely. And I think there's something to be said about personal, accounting, bookkeeping, and expense tracking as well, where you have the bookkeeping done for the business, but your personal purchases, expenses, vacations, vehicles, kids' education, whatever it is, it's all kind of related to the business, because often as a business owner, you're pulling out money to finance all your personal stuff. So you need to not just watch expenses, your cost of goods sold and overhead in the business, but also kind of relate that to your personal life as well, as like, where do you have overhead and expenses in your personal life that could put you in a better financial state and not require you to draw so much from the business as well. So that's another thing where often when we get to the end of the year and where's the profit gone, it's generally gone to, finance, personal,
yes.
Fun things, which are great, but you have to keep everything, kind of in checks and balances. And
sometimes you have to rein it in, right? Like
live within your means too, right? And it's something that I've experienced as I've gotten older and wiser in business. It was like to have the proper ratios of finances in your business and be able to live within your means, to have profit to invest and put to long-term things, or to put aside for whatever you enjoy doing. And it's nice when you have money in the bank and it's allocated, and you can invest long-term, right? Even if your business goes down or something happens, and to you or your family, you've got money set aside and are in a good financial state. So just I'd throw that in there, because I think it's important to be looking beyond just your business and having all your money tied up in your business, but have investments and long-term financial planning as well. So, but yeah, thanks so much for coming on here, Alex. It's been wealth of information and so needed. And sometimes if you are a contractor and you're 6 months behind or a year behind on your bookkeeping, or don't have anybody that's really doing your bookkeeping, the band-aid of just ripping it off and getting someone to get you caught up, it really does help. And it's much needed. Like, just thinking you'll get caught up or do it yourself, it's generally not, your better use of time is, operating your business, have someone professional handle your books and get you caught up if you are behind or struggling with your bookkeeping. That said, Alex, what's the best way for people to reach out to you and connect?
Yeah, definitely our website. So that's www.stelexsolutions.com. And so we just going back to, I wanted to mention, like, we have a promo on right now, our Lions Roar giveaway. So this is kind of where we kind of go in and diagnose your file, and we look at 20 areas in your file. So we provide a very comprehensive report of kind of what we're finding in your bookkeeping, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, and particularly the problematic areas that are happening right now in your business, let's say, or in the future, if they could become a bigger problem, we can provide some kind of ideas of solutions in order to resolve those. So it's not that we just kind of give you a report. We actually meet with you and discuss, right now it's at no cost. So usually we charge that at $250 Canadian. So you can pretty much check us out we're also on YouTube and Instagram, but definitely YouTube as well. So we're everywhere.
Wonderful. Amazing offer. Definitely, reach out to Alex and Steelix to get some more information on that. We'll put links in the description for the website and YouTube channel and other socials there, so you can get connected. Thanks so much again, Alex, for coming on.
Thank you so much.